First, we're going to take you live to Canberra, where Adam Goodes is giving his final speech in his capacity as 2014 Australian of the Year at the National Gallery. Let's listen in.
For women and their children. 1 in 5 women experience harassment within the workplace. 1 in 5. It's still a massive challenge for us all, but the real challenge lies with us men. In 2015, our task is to continue to educate and empower men to realise the role they play in ending male violence against women. You will see even more momentum in the pursuit of ensuring all women can live safely free from all forms of violence. The second campaign I've been focused on is racism. It stops with me. The aim of the campaign is to ensure more Australians recognise that racism is unacceptable in our community. Give more Australians the tools and resources to keep practical action against racism and empower individuals and organisations to prevent and respond effectively to racism. The way we try to achieve these aims is to create awareness of racism and how it affects individuals and the broader community. We also like to identify and promote and build on the good practice initiatives to prevent and reduce racism and empower communities and individuals to take action to prevent and reduce racism and to seek redress when it occurs. More than 325 organisations across Australia are official supporters of the Racism It Stops With Me campaign, with 115 of those organisations joining since Australia Day 2014. We've had a great response to the program this year, and our journey and focus remains in 2015. It's all about education and understanding what's acceptable and what isn't. I mentioned in my acceptance speech last year that my hope was that this nation can break down the silos between races, break down the stereotypes of minority populations, Indigenous populations and all the other minority groups. I felt that the ultimate reward would be when all Australians see each other as equals and treat each other as equals. Whilst we are quite not there yet and still have a way to go, I feel that in 2014 we as a nation, community and individuals have made progress. I have received so many letters of support from school kids. It was so nice to reread these in the last couple of weeks, and I just want to share one with you now. Dear Adam, my name is Brooklyn and I go to Lake Albert Public School from Wagga Wagga in New South Wales. I am 12 years old and absolutely hate racism and bullying. I'm writing to you after what occurred on Friday night of Indigenous Round. I would like to tell you that I definitely admire the way you stood up for not only yourself, but everyone that is put down for who they are. In my class, we've been looking at racism in not only sport, but everywhere. I think racism is a very serious issue for people to cope with, even young children. I believe that no one should be put down for what they look like, how they act, what colour their skin is, and if you really think about it, it's just a colour. We're all the same if you look on the inside. If I'm with some friends and one of them gets accused if I'm with some of my friends and one of them gets accused because of their appearance, I would definitely take a stand for them, just like you. I'm super proud of you for standing up against racism, and I'm sure that you're a great role model and inspiration for many people of all ages, genders, races and backgrounds. I feel very embarrassed about the incident, as I am only 1 year younger and of the same gender, and I don't want people to think of me like that. Thank you so much for what you're doing. Everyone must be very proud of you, because I definitely am. I really appreciate what you have done, and it should help lots of people. Sincerely, Brooke. To read many letters like this over the year, it just is very inspiring. This is a 12-year-old kid, and without the support and the help of teachers and parents having these conversations with their kids, they wouldn't actually come to the conclusion of that. And it's just amazing to read back on those letters, because they are the future. They are the ones that really give me a lot of hope of what this nation is definitely going to be in many years to come. The other campaign, which I've been very strong on this year, is to get constitutional recognition in our founding document. As Australian of the Year, I have often spoken about the fact of our country's constitution still closes its eyes to the long part of Australian story that predates British arrival. I asked every Australian to think about what the Constitution exclusion says to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders Australians to see our vast and inspiring history in this land not mentioned in the official picture like that. To me, the heartbreak of this constitutional exclusion is that it denies the true span of our country's history to every Australian today and to all those into the future, and it will do so until we fix it. So we need to put this right for ourselves and for all the generations of young Australians to follow. Over the past 12 months, I've asked my fellow Australians to join me as a supporter of the Recognise movement, which is campaigning for a recognition referendum. More than 1,000 people a week have done just that. Last February, the Recognise movement had 178,000 supporters. Today, it has over 250,000 grassroots supporters across Australia. Many organisations and institutions across Australia have brought their leadership to the movement too. I'm proud to say that the AFL, NRL, Cricket Australia are all partners and supporters of Recognise. Iconic Australian companies like Qantas and Telstra have joined the movement, standing alongside scores of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander bodies, faith groups, local governments, non-for-profits and many more. And the Journey to Recognition Relay, which invites whole towns and communities to be part of the Recognise movement, has now spent time with 187 communities across the nation, held 241 events and public meetings, involved more than 18,500 Australians in its journey and clocked up more than 30,000 kilometres on the road. Moving into 2015, I once more ask every Australian to think about what you can do to campaign for this referendum. For in putting this right, ours will be a defining and uplifting achievement for every one of us who now calls this nation home. It will make us even more proud to be Australian. So where are we now? 2015, as I pass the baton over to the next deserving recipient of this glorious award, my time as Australian of the Year has come to an end, but my focus on these issues, national issues, still remains. I will also continue to challenge us men in our community to make sure we stop the violence and pain we are inflicting onto our loved ones. Racism, it stops with me. I will continue to support the education of our children on the pointlessness of racism and the harm of discrimination. I will continue to focus on getting us a step closer to that referendum to get recognition for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders into our Constitution. You'll also see 11 boys and girls starting the inaugural Go Foundation Scholarship this year. With our support, we're hoping that they too can be the next bunch of role models in our communities. And I'll have 20, not 19, really good games of footy this year. Being an Australian of the Year gave me a further platform to discuss the issues important to me and critical to a nation. It enabled me to speak to Australia and lobby change. To all the finalists and recipients of the Australian of the Year Awards, congratulations on what you have achieved and the role models you are. We are so lucky to be living in this amazing country that is Australia. You have all been chosen to be here because you make Australia even better in some way. You're an inspiration to our citizens and role models to our children, and I'm honoured to be standing amongst you. I look forward to watching each of you continue on the path and the goals you have set out to achieve and embrace what 2015 has to offer. The great man Elvis and I are very much the same. We both are really good dancers. He is a great singer and actor. I can't sing, but I've been known in the last year to be a good actor on the footy field. I knew you'd like that one, Spence. And oh yeah, we both share the same birthday. And this quote from the King is a great way for me to finish today. It's human nature to gripe, but I'm going ahead and doing my best. Thank you very much.